everybody, I'm Kim Cafano, the middle school mommer. Welcome to my channel. If you've not done so yet, please do hit subscribe for some great content about raising your tween or teen during this stage. Today's topic is transitioning from elementary school into middle school or junior high, whatever your district calls it, and some tips, 7 tips that I wish somebody had shared with me. And this stems from my own experience as well as 2 town halls that I hosted with real life moms and middle school teachers. So the first tip is, you may feel like you are the only one that doesn't know what they're doing. You might show up on locker setup day or orientation night or whatever it is and feel like everybody's got their act together, and trust me, you are not the only one that's trying to sort it all out. There will be a few parents there who have had younger children that have already gone through middle school, and so they've got it down a little bit, but you are not the only one. And don't be afraid to ask another parent, call the school, email the school. They're happy to help you. Your child is not in high school, your child is in middle school. So just remember that. I know it's a big leap, but especially middle school administrators are very aware that for us, it's 6th grade is the transition point, that literally last year they were in elementary school. So just keep that in mind. I also want to share that there are some emotions that will happen. And so point number 2 is expect those emotions to come. And it's okay. I don't say that to scare you. I just say that to prepare you. That's a quote right there. Just do expect that the first couple of weeks they will be getting off the bus either in a bad mood or tired or with anxiety, and that's okay. And just be there to listen, be there to help problem solve to the extent that you can. And if it's going on for a really long period of time, of course, seek some outside help. Also know that most schools have a school counselor on hand, and so you may want to reach out to them. I know that my son and numerous friends, just that was kind of a habit and a way of life for that whole first year of middle school, just to kind of pop down to the counselor's office and share whatever was going on. So you might want to get some information on that. I also would say right along with that, plan on for the first 4 to 6 weeks, really consistently checking in with your child and seeing how things are going, because they might not outwardly share, and there might be a lot of things going on in that lunchroom or even with their locker situation or in the hallway or whatever. I'm going to refer back to another YouTube teaching video that I did. It's on getting your tween or teen to open up, and it gives some, I think, some really good points on how to get your tween or teen to actually share. And the talking time for them might not be right after school, it might be at a different time. So just acknowledge that, and then acknowledge too when they don't want to talk, because if they don't want to talk, they don't want to talk. So just don't press them, or you're going to make them feel all the more suppressed and you're not going to get any information out of them. Let's see here. Point number 3, it is not too late to update the locker situation. So during locker setup day, if you saw that people had a locker shelf or a magnetic cup holder or something that you're like, oh, I wish we would have done that, it's not too late. Email your school. I will say that locker shelf is really huge, because if you think about it, the locker is it's pretty large, and to have them just chuck everything right into that's a hard thing to keep organized. So email the school, ask for the locker dimensions. Every school is different with that, and then do some research on finding a locker shelf. We just got this mesh shelf for our son, and just so you know, we didn't order it until several months in. So, he went a long time, which kind of leads into another point for me that I really want to share, that one of your biggest roles is to keep your child organized this year. That is, and this will be a process that will not take place overnight. It will not take place within a week or a month or even a year. Sometimes it's a whole middle school process. That's kind of what middle school is for, is just getting them prepared for high school. And so just keep observing, help them as much as you can. Order that Trapper Keeper or accordion folder or whatever. It's often not on the school supply list. And so it might be just a purchase that you need to make as a parent to help them stay organized and on task. There are some apps out there. Most of the middle school teachers that I spoke with didn't recommend, well, I shouldn't say didn't recommend an app, but they like the physical aspect of seeing things in front of them. But the executive functioning, keeping themselves organized, that's one of the biggest things that will occur during middle school. Point number 5, get a grip on who the point people are. So this took me a really long time to realize that I should know, okay, what's the attendance line? So if he's sick or running late or whatever, who do I call? Who's just the person, like the child's teacher that I'm in touch with? Can I have access to all the teachers, or is there like one point person for the whole team? That's a really important thing to get a grip on. The nurse, the school nurse, especially if your child is on meds and that sort of thing, get that phone number. If your child has an IEP or any sort of needs some learning assistance, then that's another point person. Then also there is the school psychologist, might be a whole nother set of emails and phone numbers, and that whole office is a good one to have on hand, and so I do recommend that as well. Point number 6, I would like to say that socially, one of the best things for them will be to not only understand what clubs and things are offered, but to join them. Like, that's how they're gonna meet people and make new friends. And so this is finally their opportunity. If all that they've ever been offered is sports and music, and they're not into either of those, well, now's their chance to shine. They can join the bowling league or chess club, or the Spanish club, or science, or let's see here, coding. I mean, there are clubs galore. And so if your child's not coming home with that information, I guarantee it's there. Look on the website, figure it out, do some digging, and see what their thing is. And I really encourage you to dive into that. Finally, stay on your A game as a parent. It looks a lot different. Parenting looks a lot different in the middle school years, but it's still pretty intensive. And I think that's one thing that I did not realize until the very end, that I just kind of was like, well, we'll just send our child off to middle school and everything will be fine. And instead, I really needed to be more on my A game in terms of just making sure that his homework was handed in and that sort of thing. So not hovering over everything, but at the same time, just really checking in, both socially, emotionally, and then just logistically. Is he doing everything that he needs to do? Your parenting style changes, but the intensity of it does not. It's a different type of parenting. So those are my 7 tips. I really hope that they help you. And if you want more, I do have a freebie, 16 insider tips about middle school. If you print the colored version, it's much prettier. If you want more than 7 tips and you liked a little bit of what I shared, then I have this freebie. It's available. You can send me a direct message, or currently it's in my bio on Instagram. It's also available on my Facebook page. Everything is Middle School Mommer. So but yes, if you would like that, just send me a message. I'll get it to you. And thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope you come back for the next one.